there. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Mrs. Ferris and my friend Bernard. Let's get started with some fun stories. Our first one is going to be about a little girl and a pet that she really wants. It's called Millicent and Mirror. It's written by Richard Byrne, and he also did the pictures. And it is published by Barron's. Now, I don't know if you can see it. There's an airplane up in the sky, and there's some white lines indicating something has fallen out of the airplane, and there it is. One Saturday, Millicent was busy making sandcastles in the garden when... thump! A big wooden box landed beside her. "Ouch!" said the big wooden box. Millicent peeped under the lid. A dazed-looking creature sat inside. "Hello in there. Are you okay?" asked Millicent. I think so," replied the creature, rubbing his head. "But I've got no idea who I am or how I got here." Millicent giggled. "You're funny. Perhaps I can help." Millicent spotted a label on the big wooden box, and she tried to sound it out. Cat. "Mystery solved," said Millicent. "You're a cat, and your name is Mirror." "Yippee! I've always wanted a cat. You can be my cat." Well, Millicent loved her new cat, but he did do some very uncatty things, like eating an egg out of an egg cup, brushing her hair, and relaxing in a chair, eating watermelon. Looks like he's sipping it. And he also did some very naughty things too, like digging holes in the yard. He filled up a whole bucket full of dirt and dumped it in the living room. Well, Millicent's father got angrier and angrier. "That's it," he said. "Mirror will have to go outside until he can learn to behave like a proper cat." Well, Millicent didn't like putting Mirror outside, and Mirror certainly didn't like being outside. Poor Mirror had been sitting all alone for some time when a stray cat came strolling past. "Hey, why the sad face?" the cat asked. "I have to stay outside until I can learn to behave like a proper cat," Mirror explained. "Well, you don't look much like a cat to me, but, well, today's your lucky day. Marvin's my name, and being a cat is my game. Just follow me, and I'll show you how." Now, being a proper cat was a little tricky at first. He had to climb a tree, scratch, and figure out how to use a cat door. But Mirror soon got the hang of it. And then, "Woof, woof! Dog, quick, run!" cried Marvin. Well, Mirror wasn't sure what a dog was, but he was sure he didn't want to find out. So Marvin and Mirror ran and ran and ran until something caught Mirror's eyes. Do you see that? It's a poster. It says, "Come and see the meerkats at Steve's Safari Park." "Nice move, Mirror. We lost him." Now that was clever, even if you're not a cat, said Marvin. "I'm not a cat," replied Mirror. "No, look, you're a meerkat." So they took the poster and went to see Millicent. Marvin and Mirror showed her what they had discovered. "So Mirror isn't a cat doing naughty things. He's just a meerkat doing meerkat things," said Millicent. "That explains everything," said Dad, "but it's not fair to keep Mirror here. He belongs at the safari park with the rest of his family." So later that day, a van arrived to take Mirror back to his family. Millicent and Marvin waved goodbye. They were really going to miss Mirror. "Are you going home to your family too, Marvin?" asked Millicent. "I don't have a home." or a family, said Marvin sadly. Yippee, said Millicent. I've always wanted a cat. You can be my cat. So she took Marvin inside. Millicent and Marvin did lots of fun things together. Millicent loved her new pet, and Marvin loved his new home. But best of all, every weekend they went to the safari park and did lots of meerkat things with Mir and his whole family. Oh, I guess that's him here, and that's his whole family. And that's the end. I like the way that turned out, don't you? Well, shall we do a finger play? I bet cats like to eat these. I don't know about meerkats, but I bet they like hot dogs. So can you get your 5 hot dogs up? And we'll cook them in the pan. Here we go. 5 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. So 4 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. 3 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. 2 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. So that means 1 little hot dog is cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and the one went bam. So now no little hot dogs are cooking in the pan, but the grease got hot and the pan went bam. Well, we're going to have another story. It's not really about a pet, but it's about a toy that's, well, could be almost like a pet. This is called Knuffle Bunny 2. This is the second of 3 books about this little guy right here, Knuffle Bunny. The series is created by Mo Willems, and you might know some of his other books about, well, let's see, a very silly pigeon and 2 very good friends, Elephant and Piggy. But I really like his stories about Knuffle Bunny. And I like the way Mo Willems illustrates these books. He does his drawings, but he puts them on top of pictures of real places in New York City. And this is subtitled, A Case of Mistaken Identity. One morning, not so long ago, Trixie took a walk with her daddy. Now, by now, Trixie really knew how to talk. In the first book, she doesn't. Guess what, she said. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to show Amy, and then I'll show Meg, and then I'll show Margot, and then I'll show Jane, and then I'll show Leela, and then I'll show Rebecca, and then I'll show Noah, and then I'll show Robbie, and then I'll show Toshi, and then I'll show Casey, and then I'll show Connie, and then I'll show Parker, and then I'll show Brian, and then, oh my goodness, talk and talk and talk she could. Trixie was excited because she was taking her one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny someplace very special. Come on, she said to her dad. She was taking him to school. There she is. Can you see her? And it looks like it's a real school. I can't. Public school, it says. I don't know what the name of it. But lots of children were going inside. Trixie couldn't wait to show Knuffle Bunny to Ms. Greengrove and all her friends in pre-K. But just as her daddy kissed her goodbye, Trixie saw Sonia. Look what's in Sonia's arms. Suddenly, Trixie's one-of-a-kind Knuffle Bunny wasn't so one-of-a-kind anymore. Well, the morning did not go well. They showed their bunnies. And then they argued. Knuffle, said Trixie. Knuffle, said Sonia. Knuffle, said Trixie. Knuffle, said Sonia. And the afternoon was even worse because Miss Greengrove took the Knuffle bunnies away. And when the school bell rang, look, she put them way up on top of a cabinet. When the school bell rang, Miss Greengrove returned the Knuffle bunnies, and the day got better. There they are out on the playground, having fun. And then, before she knew it, it was time to go home. Trixie ate her dinner and devoured her dessert, brushed her teeth, and tried to escape the mommy and daddy robots from the planet Snurp. At 1:30 bedtime, Trixie was tucked in. But a few hours later, something. Trixie marched into her mommy and daddy's room and said, "That is not my bunny." Trixie's daddy tried to explain what 2:30 a.m. means, and he asked, "Can we deal with this in the morning?" But Trixie stared and stared and stared. And Daddy knew. Yes, Trixie's daddy went to the phone. But before he could even make it down the stairs, ring! The phone rang. "We have your bunny," said a man's voice on the other end. "And we have yours," said Trixie's daddy. Arrangements were made. Trixie and her daddy rushed across the neighborhood. Trixie did not want to be late. I don't know if you can see them. Let's see here. This is Trixie and her dad. They look very small in the big city of New York. And over here is Sonia and her dad. And I think they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. There was an exchange, and the Knuffle bunnies were back where they belonged. "I was worried about my bunny," said Sonia. "So was I," Trixie replied. And then they both said, "I'm glad you got your bunny back." They said it at exactly the same time. And that is how Trixie found her first best friend. The end. Almost. Epilogue. That means there's a little more that comes afterwards. The next morning, both Trixie and Sonia rushed to school. And the new best friends had a lot of catching up to do. "Do you want to play with my Knuffle bunny?" Trixie asked. "Sure," said Sonia. "Do you want to play with mine?" Oh, the poor daddies thinking, I could have gotten a whole lot more sleep if they would have let that happen last night. Well, can you make 2 bunny ears with one of your hands, like this? Just putting up your 2 fingers. And with your other hand, can you bring your fingers around so they touch your thumb? And you can see it makes a little hole. And that's going to be a hole for the bunny. Here is a bunny with his ears so funny. And here's his hole in the ground. When a noise he hears, why he pricks up his ears and he hops in his hole with a bound. Should we do it again? That was a short one. Get your bunny ready. Here is a bunny with his ears so funny, and here's his hole in the ground. When a noise he hears, well, he pricks up his ears and he hops in his hole with a bound. Well, have you been enjoying the warm weather? I know I have, except for one thing. I think that the warm weather has awakened some of the bugs that really should be outside, but they keep appearing inside my house. I live in an old house. And one of the bugs that keeps coming in, well, I have to say, is rather stinky. And this book is about a stink bug. And it's called Unstinky. This book is written by Andy Rash, also illustrated by him, and it's published by Arthur A. Levine Books, a division of Scholastic. And I have to say, that stink bug there looks a whole lot prettier than the ones that keep showing up at my house. Bud was a happy stink bug most of the time. But not when there was a stinking contest, because Bud always had to compete with the biggest stinkers ever. There was P.U. Bottoms, Lord Stinkington, and the Fumigator. And every time that Bud tried to stink, oh, something went wrong. The other bugs could make smells like a smokestack, dead fish, dog dew. And Bud, well, his smell was like flowers. He always made good smells. He made smell like an outhouse, or he did one like a stinky gym sock. And how about sour milk? Oh, those are all disgusting. And he would make a smell like a pine tree. He kept trying. Bug spray, rotten eggs, armpit, new car. Another big stinking failure, but Bud had an idea. So he rubbed onions in his armpits, and he stomped in manure. That's poop. And he went na 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 to a skunk who sprayed him. Pretty potent. And once Bud was sure he was totally reeking, he announced his own stinking contest. But as all the stink bugs lined up, uh-oh, a big dewdrop fell, splash, right on Bud. Well, the contest started. He made a smell like a garbage truck. And his was Limburger cheese. And his was a burning wig. And Bud, fresh baked bread. Fourth place again. Bud wandered off to mope. And he ran into Major Funk, a stink bug of high rank. "What's wrong, Bud?" Major Funk yelled. "I can't stink, sir. I don't know how," said Bud. "Nonsense," said Major Funk. "Every stink bug can stink. Just do what I do. Stomp your feet." So he stomped his feet. "Wave your arms." So he waved his arms. "Waggle your bottom." He waggled his bottom. Major Funk made a smell like gunpowder. And Bud, a candy cane. Major Funk sniffed the air. Well, keep working on it, Bud. You're sure to stink someday." So Bud did keep working on it. All day he stomped and waved and waggled. He jumped and slid and twirled. He flopped and reached and twitched, but every smell that came out of him was flowers, 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 flowers. Not stinky at all. A confused bee arrived. "Hi, I'm April. I'm sorry to interrupt your dancing, but I thought I smelled flowers." "No, that flower smell is me," said Bud. "I'm trying to stink, but I'm no good at it." "Well, maybe stinking just isn't your thing," said April, "but you sure can dance. Will you come with me to the dance party at the hive?" "Do you think they'll even let me in? I'm a stink bug," said Bud. "Oh, don't be silly. They'll be happy to see you," said April. So there's where they're going. Well, the bees were not happy to see Bud, but the guards let him in because he was April's guest, and April was a VIB, a very important bee. Bud's entrance created, a lot of buzz. "Ooh, who let that stink bug in here?" said one bee. "He'll stink up the whole hive," said another. "April, I'm gonna leave. Nobody wants me here," said Bud. "We'll show them," said April. "Come on, Bud. We'll show them on the dance floor." So Bud and April danced and danced and danced and danced. And then Bloom! You know what he did, didn't you? He made a smell. Mmm, hummed all the bees. They loved it. Her Royal Majesty, the Queen Bee, arrived. Bud the stink bug, you have graced this hive with your dancing and your aroma. You are always a welcome guest. Hooray, said all of the bees. Well, Bud went back and told his friends about dancing. They'd never heard of it. They gave it a shot, but it was clearly not their thing. And although the exercise improved their stinking quite a bit, they made smells like volcanoes and a cheese factory and dinosaur dew or poo. Well, they thanked Bud as he said goodbye. And then Bud went back to do his thing. And you know, you just have to find out what your thing is to be happy. All right. Well, shall we? I think it's time to pull out our bubble gum. So reach in your pocket. And if you don't have a real pocket, you can pretend you have a pocket and pull out a piece of pretend bubble gum. We're going to unwrap it and toss the wrapper in the trash and then pop the gum in your mouth and chew it up until it's really soft and squishy, and then we'll do something disgusting with it. So ready, set, go. Do you think it's ready? I think so. Put your hand out in front of you. When I count to 3, spit your gum and only your gum right into your hand and clap your other hand right on top. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Clap your hand on it. And we've got sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your chin. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your back. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your arm. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your nose. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your knee. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your cheek. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on mom or dad. On stick. Come on back. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your toe. On stick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum. Time to throw it in the trash. Well, we often do the finger play here at Bedtime Stories about 5 little monkeys when they jump on the bed. But tonight they're not going to jump on the bed. They're going to read in bed. And that's what this is called, 5 Little Monkeys Reading in Bed. It's written and illustrated by Eileen Cristello, who's done all of the books about the monkeys, and it's published by Clarion Books. Now they've had their baths, and they're brushing their teeth, getting in their jammies, and reading a book. Now when the 5 little monkeys are ready for bed, their mama reads stories and then kisses each head. It's bedtime for monkeys. Now turn out the light. Oh, Mama, oh, please. One more story tonight. But Mama's too tired. She's read more than 4. Lights out, sweet dreams. And she closes their door. One monkey whispers, this book looks so great, so good. If Mama won't read it, then maybe we should. So the monkeys start reading, and the story is sad. One monkey is weeping. Oh, she's feeling so bad. Then out come the tissues, and they all start to bawl. That means cry really hard. They sob and they cry till the last page of all. Oh, what happens next? Oh, it's a good ending, such a good ending. Their sobs turn to cheers. But those monkeys are loud. You should cover your ears. They're saying, hooray, yay, wow, yippee. In fact, they're so noisy that Mama rushes in. What's all this racket, this chaos, this din? Din is another word for noise. Well, one monkey admits with a guilt-ridden look, we've been reading the very best happy, sad book. Oops. Mama raises one eyebrow. What was it I said? Lights out, sleep tight, no more reading in bed. Then one monkey sighs as she turns out the light. I wish we could read this new ghost book tonight. Just look at that goblin and the mean-looking ghost, and it's those shadowy bats that I like the most. So one monkey starts hooting, an eerie ghost sound, and soon they're all wailing and jumping around. Ooh, ooh. And then a dark, spooky shadow appears on the wall, but a knock on the door is what frightens them all. It's the ghost, they all scream. But then Mama walks in. What's all this racket, this chaos, this din? The monkeys all gasp, well, we thought you were the ghost. This book is so scary. We like it the most. Mama raises an eyebrow. What was it I said? Lights out, sweet dreams, no more reading in bed. Well, one monkey shivers. That book was so creepy, so good, but so scary. I'll never be sleepy. So she pulls out a joke book. We've got to be quiet, but the jokes are so funny. In fact, they're a riot. The monkeys try hard not to giggle or laugh, but then there's a joke with a foolish giraffe. Why do giraffes have long necks? So they can wear lots of ties. Oh, it is so silly, so goofy. They all start to roar. And then, can you guess who flings open the door? Oh, yes, it's Mama. She comes storming right in. What's all this racket, this chaos, this din? The monkeys keep giggling. Oh, they just can't quit. Mama picks up their books. I've had it. That's it. Then she raises an eyebrow. Did you hear what I said? Can you say it with her one more time? Lights out. Sweet dreams, no more reading in bed. Well, the monkeys are tired. They're almost asleep when they hear someone giggle and then laugh and then weep. Do you hear all that noise? And just who can it be? Let's sneak down the hall. Can you guess who they see? It's Mama. Oh, Mama, they giggle. What was it you said? Lights out, sweet dreams, no more reading in bed. Those monkeys are sleepy. They head out the door. Just wait till tomorrow. Then we'll read. We'll read more. There they are sleeping. Shh, don't wake them up. Can you wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and wiggle your shoulders And how about your nose? Can you wiggle your elbows and slap your knees and stretch your arms up and then get ready, please, because I've got the flannel board right over here and it's already set up for us. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Floyd. And Floyd was out flying his kite when, oh dear, it got stuck in a tree. How to get it down? Well, Floyd took one of his shoes and, well, he threw it up in the tree to knock down the kite. But the shoe got stuck. So he took his other shoe and tossed it up to knock down his favorite shoe, and that shoe got stuck. So what was he to do? Well, he got his cat. And, well, cats like to be up in trees, so he sent his cat up the tree to get down the shoes. But the cat didn't want to come down. So he ran to the neighbor's house and he got a ladder. And no, he didn't use the ladder to climb up in the tree. He threw the ladder up in the tree for the cat. But the ladder got stuck. Well, he knew his neighbor would not be happy about his ladder being stuck up in the tree, so he had to get it down. So Floyd got a can of paint and tossed it up into the tree to knock the ladder down, but the paint can got stuck. So then he sent a duck up into the tree to get the paint can, and the duck got stuck. So he tossed a chair up into the tree, and the chair got stuck. He got his friend's bicycle and tossed it up into the tree to see if he could knock down the chair. And the bike got stuck. So then he got his front door and threw it up into the tree to see if he could knock the bike down, but the door got stuck. So then he got his kitchen sink and threw it up into the tree to see if he could knock the door down, and the sink got stuck. So then, don't ask me how he did this, but he tossed his family car up into the tree to see if he could loosen that sink, but the car got stuck. Well, things were going from bad to worse. The milkman happened to come by and Floyd told him what the problem was. And the milkman said, well, I'll go up and get those things down. And he went up the tree, but then the milkman got stuck. So then Floyd sent an orangutan up into the tree to get the milkman down, but the orangutan got stuck. So Floyd tossed up a toy boat that he used in the bathtub, but the toy boat got stuck. So he got a big boat and threw it up into the tree, and the big boat got stuck. He sent a rhinoceros up to see if he could do anything about the big boat, but the rhinoceros got stuck. Well, there was a man driving by in a great big 18-wheeler truck, and he asked if he could help Floyd, and Floyd said, I've got to get my kite out of the tree. So the man in the 18-wheeler drove his truck up into the tree, and the truck got stuck. Well, Floyd was really lost for what to do. So he threw the house across the street up into the tree, and it got stuck. So then he found a lighthouse and tossed it up into the tree, and the lighthouse got stuck. He even tossed a whale that happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time up into the tree, and that whale got stuck. Well, what was Floyd to do? Fortunately, a fire truck came by, and you know, the fire trucks are always there to help you. So Floyd explained what the problem was, and the fireman drove the truck up into the tree, and the fire truck got stuck. And the one fireman who was down on the ground said, well, I can go and get it, and I'll drive it back down. But when he got up into the tree, well, the fireman got stuck. Well, Floyd didn't know what he was going to do. He really had to get those things out of the tree. So he thought and thought, and he realized if he didn't get things out of the tree, he'd be in big trouble, especially with a fireman and a fire truck up there. Oh dear. Well, then he got an idea. And he went into the garage and he found a saw. Oh, a perfect thing. And what do you think he did with that saw? No, he did not saw the tree down. He tossed the saw up into the tree, and that tree was so full that when the saw went up in the tree, why, the kite fell down right into Floyd's hand. "Oh, this is wonderful," he said. And Floyd played with the kite the rest of the afternoon. And then he went home and he had his dinner and he took a bath and he got ready for bed. And he climbed into his bed and pulled the covers up. And he was just about to go to sleep when a thought hit him that there was something that he was forgetting to do, but he couldn't remember what. Oops. And that's a story called Stuck. Well, we're not stuck. We have time for one more book, and this is Pajama Time by Sandra Boynton, published by Workman Publishing, one of our favorites to finish up with. Bernard, you can come over because you're in the story, aren't you? Well, the moon is up and it's getting late. Let's get ready to celebrate. It's pajama time. So pull on the bottoms and pull on the top. Get yourself ready to pajama dee-bop. It's pajama time. Now some are old. Oh dear, there's a hole in those jammies. And some are new. Some are red. That's Bernard's favorite page because that's him. And some are blue. Some are fuzzy. And some are not. But we can all pajama in whatever we've got. It's pajama time. Oh yes, it's pajama time. Now some are pink and some are green and some are the ugliest you've ever seen. They might be stripy or polka dot, but we can all pajama in whatever we've got. It's pajama time. So pajama to the left and pajama to the right. Jamma, 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 PJ. Everybody's wearing them for dancing tonight. Jammy, 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 jamma, PJ. Now all around the room in one big line, wearing our pajamas and looking so fine. It's pajama time. Then hop into bed and turn out the light. You can have a party in your dreams tonight. It's pajama time. Hush, hush. It's pajama time. Hush, hush. It's pajama time. Shh, shh. Good night. Sleep tight. And that's pajama time. And that's the end of our program for tonight. So thank you for watching, and we hope you come back for some bedtime stories another time. See you later.